Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. I know it's hard to believe, but someone had to fill your dead air and boring lives with
entertainment.
We're here for the people. I'm Seth, the Tennessee Machine Trivet. That's the golden god himself, Jordan, the long-beard Lowry. He once stopped a Mack truck with his bare hands.
These hands.
Now, anyway.
So today, last week, we talked about the album that I suggested last time was Who's Next by The Who. So the one I suggested that you listen to after that was an album called I'll Be Fine by a guy named John Lewis.
Good old John Lewis.
So the way we did it last time is I gave a little bit of information about the album and then you went over it, kind of breaking down the tracks. Do you want to do it like that again?
Well, the thing about this is I didn't really do like a track by track.
Okay.
I do have like little, about each track.
Okay.
But there's a common theme here that I think you're going to enjoy.
Okay.
That I came to a conclusion of after about my fourth sit through.
Okay.
But, let's go with the facts. Let's get the facts first.
All right, so this is the
facts.
debut album from John Lewis. It is technically his second studio album that he's done because he does have another album that came out a few years ago that he did with a band, and it was called John Lewis and the Midwest. So it's got the... Do what?
He missed an opportunity.
What?
John Lewis in the news. But anyway.
So it was called John Lewis in the Midwest. It had the same kind of sound, but the people in that band are not on this album. This is a new band that he brought in, and it's credited just him.
Did they just give up on him?
So I'm not sure what the story behind that is, but I think a lot of it has to do with he's from Florida, but he wrote and recorded this album while he was going to college in Nashville, Tennessee.
I see where that could be a problem.
So I think a lot of it was just he moved.
Look, guys, I'm about to split. You coming with?
So it was the debut album. It is also a concept album. The concept tells the story of a relationship, a real relationship that he was in from start to end.
I guess that explains all the voicemail stuff.
Yep, so the first track, the interlude, the April 3rd, all the interludes are in parentheses. I thought that was a cool kind of thing. So April 3rd, which is also the day that it was released, April 3rd, 2020, starts out with them meeting. And the first half of the album is them in the relationship. The middle half, they start having issues. The second half is them, breaking up. And the last couple of tracks are him questioning, what went wrong and what he could do to not experience this in future relationships.
I see. That's why it starts out in a crowded room.
Yes. So
that's how you meet people in the world.
So this is skipping a few, but the talking that you hear at the beginning of the track, April 3rd, was recorded during a songwriter get-together, and the people who were talking did not know that they were being recorded.
Oh, that's always nice, right? Kind of like now.
So if you listen closely, it sounds like it's like a party, but if you listen closely, it's people talking about, songwriting.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So, like I said, it was written while John Lewis was in college in Nashville, Tennessee. He was taking a music class, and each week the students had to write and perform an original song in that class. So most of the songs on this album were written in real time while the relationship was going on, and these were the songs that he would turn in and perform for the class, for his college class.
That's insane. It's like real time.
He said the two albums that most inspired him, which is kind of surprising, The Search for Everything by John Mayer, and Damn by Kendrick Lamar.
I'm sorry.
So he said that musically and like when it came to song arrangements, that The Search for Everything by John Mayer was the inspiration, but lyrically he wanted to be able to tell a story as the same level of musicianship as Kendrick Lamar.
I see.
Which of course is a different medium because this is not a rap album.
No.
But, so let's see. So the album was actually produced by the drummer of the album. His name is Ben. He was actually the one that produced it. So John Lewis would make these demo recordings. He would play all the instruments on the demo recordings to show the band kind of what it needed to sound like, but then each member would kind of add their own like kind of style to it, whatever. But he is a multi-instrumentalist. He plays guitar, bass, piano, drums, some mandolin. So, I mean, he plays all kinds of instruments. His main one is obviously guitar.
Yeah.
That's the main thing he's known for. So the intro track, April 3rd, another fact about that, it was actually the last song lyrically that was written for the album.
Really?
It was the last song, even though it's the first song on the album, and it tells the beginning of the actual concept of the album. It was the last one that they wrote for it.
It's interesting. Lyrically, that
Yeah.
makes me laugh. You would say that.
Also, almost every song had a different title when he first wrote it. And for
Switched it
now,
up.
so the song For Now went through the most name changes. The original names included Young Love, Daydream, and Pocket. And it was rewritten the most out of any of the songs on the album, too. Like, the original song was a lot slower. Then they did almost like a punk version of it. And then they ended up with the album version. The song Worth It was the first song written specifically for the album, and it started out as just a random riff that they would play in jam sessions.
We're gonna have to keep doing this. We're on to something.
It was also the first. It was the first single that was released from the album. Worth It. Just a few more. John Lewis and his drummer/producer bought advertising space on social media, and the song "The South" became the first hit from the album because of this. That is actually how I found them.
It's a pretty good song.
It was a Facebook ad for the music video. And I was like, what is this?
But this guy's pretty good.
And so what they did, the end of the song is heavier and faster than the beginning of the song.
Yeah.
So it started playing like 5 seconds at the end of the song, and then it said, let me show you how we got there. And then the actual song started.
No, that's pretty cool.
I was like, that is very creative. I liked that a lot.
Let me show you how we got there. I mean, it's like a Tarantino movie for music.
This is also one of the only songs that was not rewritten. The demo basically ended up sounding exactly like the finished product.
What do you know? That never happens.
Yeah. And
I bet he was proud that day. He's like the first musician to be like, demo, done.
That's it.
Also single.
And The South is also my favorite song.
It is a good one.
The South. So that's all the information I've got. Like I said, it's not as much as The Who or TSOL, only because he's so new and so not well known.
Yeah.
But I want people to know.
Yeah.
But he actually did. The record company he's signed to is called Despicable Records.
Which is a cool name. I noticed that last night. I was like, that's pretty neat.
They have a YouTube channel called Despicable Record Company. Or Despicable Records. I can't remember which.
Shout out Despicable Records!
But they did a series of podcasts, and they go through track by track, and it like breaks down kind of like the production side of the album.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So if you're really interested in that, and you've got like 13 hours to spare,
Which who doesn't in this economy?
I mean, it's actually really interesting. Like I said, it's more of the production side of the album, though, so it really breaks down, like, what they do is they'll take the songs and they'll, like, mute, like, the guitar parts and, like, mute the bass parts, and you can really hear, like, vocal harmonies that you may not pick up on, or, like, different kind of instruments that are in there that you may not pick up on, but...
You'll see. I'm going to talk about it. This guy, he relies a lot on harmonies. Of both vocal and guitar.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
That's all I've got. The guitar harmonies, which I lovingly refer to as guitarmonies.
Oh my god. Guitarmonies, baby. All about the guitarmonies.
So I did not make up that term. I saw there's a guy that used to write for Cream magazine. I can't remember what his name was, but he made that word up, I'm pretty sure, in like the early 2000s when he was describing the Allman Brothers.
And I bet he felt so genius.
And then I've also heard John Mayer use it when he was recording his Continuum album. There's one song on there that sounds like it could be an Allman Brothers song. And when he was recording it, he was like, "We need guitarmonies." And
we need guitarmonies.
So, but like I said, that's all I've got. So now we can go into the breakdown and see what Seth thought about it. Because for me, this is a 10 out of 10 album. But I'm excited to hear what Seth had to say and hear his take.
I have a laptop.
Look at how strong he is.
Look at me. Fucking... You see that? You don't get that Muscle Magazine, ladies. You're welcome. Anyway, so... First thing I want to say is, and this is an interesting takeaway, this is the interesting takeaway that I have for this.
Okay.
Old John here kind of sounds like the vocalist from Train.
In a way, yeah. It's breathy, kind of nasally.
I like it. It's like a train decided to be good.
Yeah.
You know? Which is always good.
So it's a little off topic, but not really, since you brought up Train. So when they first started out, they were just kind of like alternative rock.
Yeah.
Like what they are now is shit. But I really, really enjoy like their first 4 albums. They're really good, and it's really funny because I have a list of the albums that I want you to listen to, and on that list is Train's debut album.
It's not going to be a problem. Because I really actually unironically enjoy Train.
Yeah, see?
It makes my sister angry.
Why?
Because she hates Train. Everybody hates Train.
She's the demographic they're aiming for, though.
Everybody hates Nickelback. Oh my god, that's funny.
Nickelback doesn't deserve as much hate as they get.
No, they do not.
They deserve some, but not as much.
Neither does Train, I've noticed.
No.
They wrote Drops of Jupiter. People know that song just by hearing it in the elevator. Don't you fucking lie, people. Anyway, I would never yell at you, the people.
No.
You are the bread and butter.
We're yelling at the people that aren't watching this.
That's right. I mean, all the people that are watching this, I'm pretty sure, you're pretty smart. You're up on things. You're what we would call an iconoclast.
Okay.
Just like us. That's why we vibe so much. But anyway, with this album, I'm getting a lot of early 2000s emo vibes from it. A lot of early, I feel like I'm listening to Jimmy Eat World.
So,
and The Used.
Funny you should say that. Jimmy Eat World, The Used, another band called Thursday.
I love Thursday.
Another band called Tiny Moving Parts.
Let me guess. No, you just...
a lot of those bands are his favorite bands.
I fucking called it. Yeah. Whenever I was listening to this, I was like, this is some Dance Gavin Dance. The guitar harmonies you're talking about. I hear a lot in like Dance Gavin Dance, which I'm a huge fan of. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Periphery does that a lot. They're more of a heavier type of emo band, but The Used, like we talked about previously, I got a lot of Jimmy Eat World vibes.
Yeah, John Lewis is single-handedly bringing emo back to the forefront.
That's okay, because, those were good bands. My Chemical Romance, got a lot of My Chemical Romance from it, which is shocking, because, it's not like... I mean, people talk about My Chemical Romance, and they're like, they were great. But you never see, they heavily influenced me to make music. You never see that.
Well, the thing I've noticed is that they only talk about the Welcome to the Black Parade album. They don't actually talk about the other, handful of studio albums that they had too.
Thank You for the Venom, which was fucking awesome.
Just as good.
Yeah. Wait, I don't think Thank You for the Venom was the name of the album, but
I'm not sure.
Who cares?
I'll admit I'm not too familiar with them, but I do know that the songs that I've really enjoyed by them were not on the Black Parade album.
Let's see. But no, this guy, he does it good too, because it's funny. Like you're stating, obviously he did get he got a band to play with him, but the fact that somebody figured out all of the layers for these songs, showed other people how to play them so that, hey, this is what it should sound like, now that I know this.
Yeah.
And they did it somehow. They added their own little spin on it. He didn't get pissed off about it. Usually people get pissed off, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's supposed to be like this, man. Like, you've seen it in the, I think it was Saint Anger documentary or something like that with Metallica.
God, yeah.
They were all just fucking yelling at each other. It's supposed to be like this, man!
That's all that is. It's just, that whole documentary is just everyone realizing that Lars Ulrich sucks.
Yeah, they're like, wait a minute, he's not a good drummer?
That's all that documentary is.
There was this, and this is going to make you laugh, this is kind of random and off topic, but it's music related.
Okay.
You remember when fucking Neil Young decided he was going to pull himself off Spotify because Joe Rogan was on there and all that good stuff?
Yeah, that was recent.
Yeah. Well, he said, that was recent. Dude, it hasn't been a year or anything. But, no. There was a post I saw on Facebook that said, we need to pull Metallica's music off Spotify. Not because they're standing for anything, just because they suck. So hard.
So, everyone, just a little information about the Neil Young thing, too.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that it's worse than it is, but Neil Young actually gave them, not really an ultimatum, but for lack of a better word, an ultimatum. He was like, hey, I don't appreciate the things he says, just take me off.
Yeah.
It wasn't, because a lot of people tried to spin it that Neil Young wanted Joe Rogan taken off. And that's not what it was. Neil Young was like, hey, I don't agree with it. I don't want a part of it. Take me off. If you're going to keep him, take me off. So, just a little news. Some real news, not fake news. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh yeah, man, we're getting right along into it. Trying to find, because I have these notes all scattered out, but my overall consensus of this is going to be that I loved the instrumental work on the album as well as the vocal work, and not to sound too repetitive, but the harmonies of both the instruments and John's voice were spot on.
Yeah,
very spot on. That's probably my favorite part of the album. It's just going to be how well the vocals meshed with the harmonies. And some fun facts for those of you who don't obviously know about this guy or haven't heard about this guy before. He's like the master of starting a song off super slow and sad, and then all of a sudden he just hits you in the face with these fucking tempo changes. And there was one song on there in particular, my favorite song, and that is going to be Spent. The ending of Spent, whenever it gets all aggressive and loud, it's like, what the fuck? Where'd this guy even come from? Because you don't even think he's going to scream at all throughout the entire fucking thing. And then that album, he's just like, or that song.
And it sounds good.
It does. It sounds great. He picked the perfect spot for it.
Yep.
Which would be the climax.
Yep.
Right before you're about to make the crowd bust.
And remember, that song starts out with just an acoustic guitar.
Exactly. It builds on itself. And that's what will get the attention span of people of our generation.
Yeah.
Something that's all over the place. Because, that's the thing about music these days. I don't know if you've noticed if you turn on your, local pop station. Music these days is all over the place.
Yeah.
And that is the main reason.
It's like progressive rock for people who don't like progressive rock.
Yeah, exactly. For people that like to press buttons instead, which is important, it has its place. I mean, that's still music to me. A lot of people are like, that's not music. And I'm like, I don't know. Somebody...
Dubstep and
Yeah.
stuff? Oh, I mean, yeah.
Like, somebody made it. I'm pretty sure. You know
I may not particularly enjoy it, but I'm not going to discredit that it does take time and effort to make it.
Dude's not just pressing buttons up there, believe me. I've watched people make this shit, and I'm just like...
Yeah, there's more to it than that.
You just know how to put that there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because whenever you're recording songs like that, you have like layers on top of layers with whatever you're mixing with.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to know what piece. It's like making a puzzle. You
Yeah.
have to know what piece is going to fit where, or you're just going to fuck the entire thing up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I noticed about that guy.
Oh, one thing you said, how everything sounds perfect together. Yeah, like the album is so well produced without sounding overproduced.
Exactly. That's another thing I put in here, is that the guitar tones were something you could really get lost in. It felt like you could literally, if you close your eyes, and this is a part of the reason that I like music so much, is because you can say stuff like this that would sound completely stupid in any other like conversation, but I closed my eyes and I felt like I was floating through space with those harmonies.
So, fun fact for you, there is a deluxe version of the album available that has just the instrumentals.
Ooh, yeah, see? I felt like I was 14 and I was like listening to different... No, I did. I felt like I was listening to like different emo bands on my iPod and pretending I hate myself and obsessing over whatever girl doesn't care about me at the time. You know, that's what I felt like. But in reality, just loving my life. Very nostalgic. Honestly makes me want to go back. You know?
Yeah, it's like, it's almost nostalgic for times that I didn't even have.
Yeah, right? You're like, bro, what? But you're like, I get it.
Yeah.
The song, I mean, the album pretty much lays it out perfectly. If you were an emo kid in the early 2000s, this is a great album for you.
Yeah.
It'll bring you back.
Yeah.
You'll be like, oh my God, I see stars. Or something. Bring me the horizon. That's who that reminded me of the most at the end of that song.
I can see that.
It sounded exactly like Holy Sykes almost. But In Stride is another one that I really like on the album, just due to the fact that it starts out with the most groovy guitar riff. You know what I mean? You just a fucking chord progression. And the lyrics are uplifting. Feels like the dude's about to come around to everything wrong in his life. That's how I felt about it anyway. He's like, well, fuck it. This is horrible, but I've learned a very valuable lesson about just doing my own thing and letting things play out. That's exactly what it reminded me of. I've been there. I think we all have. It's done. Catchy, but sad.
Yeah.
Again, I think this would have been perfect release as an early 2000s emo album. More Jimmy Eat World and the used vibes here. But it was sad.
Yeah.
It pulled at my heartstrings. I mean, I've probably been about 4 relationships in my life, so it's kind of hard for me to relate. But at the same time, I get it.
Yeah, that's the second to last track. And so that is the point where he realizes, like, okay, this is over. Like, there's no saving this relationship. It's completely done.
It's almost like it's spent. Which is the next song here that I really, really enjoyed. I don't know why I'm going backwards.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's okay. It's okay.
And I love how I started this one is pretty sad, but it was absolutely perfect. Why doesn't God show his face when I need him to? What a line.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
This entire song is perfect for someone who has lost faith in literally everything before.
Yeah, so... Yeah, that's my favorite line probably on the entire album, the why doesn't God show his face when I need him to.
Yeah.
And then that next verse with it, I remember back in Sunday school when he was in control. So,
oh my God, yeah.
So I confessed,
you hear the little voices?
Yeah, so I confessed him with my mouth, but that was 14 years ago. Like,
That's heavy, too.
saying, like, dude, a lot of shit has changed within that time frame. Like, I don't know if I can still hold on to what I thought at that time.
I remember going to Sunday school at like 15, 16.
Yeah.
And thinking, oh, well, everything's nice and hunky-dory. This is life. This is life, man. And then, like, you know, you get older and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
These people are fucking assholes. They don't actually like me. They just pretend to like me. Stuff like that. That's what I found out in church, is that, like, people are fake. Like,
Yeah.
They will be fake to your face all day long.
Yep.
You only have a few real people you're going to meet. But, let's see here. Without You, not the Hinder song. How has this guy never been on the fucking radio? You know what I mean? That's the question that I have.
I know.
Whenever I listen to these guys, I like, it's weird. Dude would have been perfect for Warped Tour.
He would have.
He would have been perfect for, Warped Tour is a thing of the past now. But he would have been the
Yeah,
perfect.
he only missed it by like 2 years.
Like a hair. You know when I quit doing Warped Tour too?
What?
A lot of people were getting pissed off about it because, it's supposed to be Vans Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Target.
Oh, God.
What do you
They
mean?
became corporate.
Yeah, and the fucking ticket prices were no longer like $40. Like, they were jacking ticket prices up.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I remember you could pay $40 and you could go see like 60 bands if you had the time. Oh, God. All the songs are 1 minute anyway. Your Eyes Were Dry. Now, this song is also a favorite of mine. It probably had to be my third favorite track on the album. Yes, and it's just...
That's kind of surprising.
Well, yeah, I know.
That's probably the slowest track on here.
Yeah, and I fucking hate love songs. So I'm really
I'm really bringing you around on some love songs.
That's what... Oh, I made a note. I made a note about that, too. I did. I was like, important takeaway. I should not dismiss love songs. This brings me back to when I was 14. And yeah, see, once again.
That's 2 albums in a row that had a love song on it that you were like, I really like that.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a certain type of love song. If it's real. There we go. If the person means it.
Fair enough.
That's a big thing with me. And art.
It's got to be genuine.
Yeah, like if you don't mean it, I'm out of there.
I don't like
That's why I don't watch modern wrestling. I'm just like, this guy is obviously reading from a script, and it sucks. I don't feel anything here. There's no good versus evil.
I was gonna make a joke of, you watched it when it was real because it was never real.
Yeah, no, it was never real.
But I couldn't think of a way to land it. So if there's one thing I've learned in life is if you don't know how to land a joke, don't say it.
Yeah, I've learned that the hard way a couple of times.
Oh, me too.
Remember when I was a DSM?
That's a term at the place we used to work at together.
Yeah. You won't know that. But it was like a daily meeting we used to have, and it was just my time to go in there and say stupid things. Because I didn't give a fuck.
I remember, and I think Beth was trying to, make it sound better. Because what you were saying, was obviously a joke. But I don't think Beth understood that it was a joke, and so she would try to be like, I think he means this.
Oh, yeah, like I'm autistic or something.
And then Thomas would be like, he's not stupid, let him talk. That daily meeting was just 30 minutes of 7 completely different identities and egos.
Yeah.
Just bullshitting together.
The more I look back on it, it was just like everybody getting together to discuss the failure
that
was their team.
It was never good news. It was always like, well, these are the people that suck right now.
What do you want me to do? Tommy was huffing gasoline outside just about 5 minutes ago before he came in. What do you expect? What do you expect? He has 3 teeth.
Oh, man.
Remember that time that lady pulled her tooth out? And just showed everybody? She was like, look at my tooth!
That was her chewing tooth.
It was her chewing tooth!
She didn't say that. But
how am I going to eat lunch? No. Yeah, that was funny as fuck. I'll never forget that. I was like, this lady just pulled her tooth out and showed it to me.
Very nonchalant.
Yeah, she's like, look, my tooth just fell out. I told her. I remember.
Well, I'll be damned.
Yeah, I remember telling her. I looked at her and I was like, "You should make a necklace out of that. Just wear it around." I said that. I'll never forget it. You can't do stuff like I work at a different company now.
Yeah.
And it's so fucking like everybody's ass is so tight.
That is one good thing about the place we worked at together. Like, no one took it seriously.
Everybody that is above me has stock in the company, and they make it a point to tell you like it matters. Well, I have stock in this company, and if they continue to outsource and people are fed up with us, I'm going to lose a lot of money.
Depends on how high up you're in the company to have stock in it too. Like at some point, that just becomes insider trading.
I know,
and that's illegal.
I know. We're talking about a monopoly here, Jordan. They don't care.
Okay,
we're talking about a monopoly.
Anyway.
Yeah. I can't get too deep into it, but certain telecommunication companies in the world. Now, let's see here. We need to go. Let's see here. Smoke. That was the well, no, actually, it was Darling. Darling was the next one.
Yeah.
That was a very pretty song, in my opinion. From the beginning, it's going to be one of those very atmospheric, hypnotic songs, like a Deftones song almost, but not heavy. You know what I mean? You're not using like a 7-string.
Yeah.
That's I always hated that about like Korn and Deftones, bands like that. Like, I get that you want the 7-string because it makes it sound more heavy and bassy. Yeah. But you're only using like 3 of those fucking strings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just use a 4-string with the top 4 strings from a 7-string.
Too complicated.
Do you get what I'm saying?
We need a special instrument. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But there are people out there that actually shred on 7 strings.
Oh, yeah.
And like Toshi, whatever his fucking last name is from Animals as leaders.
Oh, shit, yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Well, I mean, every member of that
band is fucking insane.
Tobin Abasi.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I said Toshi.
Toshi. you like combined both his first and last name. Tobin Abasi. No, dude,
fucking heavy.
You talk about people that are going to go down in history as like best guitar players ever. Like
he made Gent popular, and they don't even have vocals.
Yeah.
It's like he was just like, check it out, guys. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Good stuff. But yeah, that's what it reminded me of, Darling, that particular song. See, this guy has influences all over the place, and you can tell. Yeah. Like, he pulled the perfect, like, you got some Tool in there, just with the vocals. And like I'm saying, the hypnotic, trance-like vibe that he gives out, where you're just like, I could zone out on this. The entire world could melt away. And it would not matter. Because I'm listening to this awesome tune. And, let's see. Smoke. It's probably my 4th favorite song on the album.
Okay.
I have a lot of favorites.
It's surprising that the slower songs are
like slow music
ones.
Like, I like old country music and stuff like that, too. So
I know, it's just odd, because I knew with this being, like, an alternative rock album.
Yeah.
That I thought that you would enjoy the faster paced songs more. I thought you would like the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I figured you would enjoy the faster, hard rockin' stuff more than the slower, introspective stuff that you're liking right now.
It's weird for me when I listen to music, though, because check it out. Whenever you get a guy like this, okay, I don't know what I'm going to expect. So I go into it with an open mind, like, okay, well, whatever I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't care about any of the, but I know this isn't a punk album. I know it's not a death metal album. I know it's not like any of those things. Okay. So I'm not going into it like looking for that stuff. You know what I mean? Because that's another thing about like death metal and stuff. You have to do it right, in my opinion, based on what my opinion is. I don't like a lot of the death metal bands that are out right now. I don't like a lot of the punk bands.
Okay.
I like it's some of my favorite music, but there are very few bands that do it right, in my opinion. Very, very few. I'd probably, I don't know. I don't even have like a top. I don't even have a top 5 death metal bands. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have like 2: Cannibal Corpse and the Black Dahlia Murder.
Okay.
Those are my 2 favorite. But no, whenever you're going into something like this, it's like I know this guy's going to be more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just going to be like and then over. And there's probably some stuff I need to listen to. I need to listen to what this guy's saying.
Okay.
I need to, get like an idea of where he's coming from. Because I'm one of those. I can sit down and listen to ABBA right now. Not a lot of people can say that.
I can dig on some ABBA. I get it. It's funny. A couple of months ago, I got on a real big Carpenters kick.
Those guys are weird. Constantinople.
Oh man. Anyway.
But yeah, Smoke is a groovy song. The chord progressions, what got me, is that the rhythm builds on itself. Plus, it keeps the vibe of the album going very well. It's not too hard, not too soft. Once again, just right. It's like, the song is like ideal sex.
Okay.
If I had to describe it. Because it's just, it's a jam, man.
It is a jam.
It keeps your attention, too. That's one thing about it. I mean, I guess, sure, we have had some slower jams, but who gives a damn? You know what I mean? That's what I said. I said, who gives a damn? If it's good, it's good. And then we have Ready to Go. Why did I go backwards once again? It doesn't matter, but I just don't understand. It's like I started reading, and I was just like, you know what? I'll keep going backwards.
Yeah, you might as well just keep going backwards now.
When we get to number 1, a rocket will go off. Anyway, Ready to Go. It kind of switches up the pace of the album and brings me back to the whole Jimmy Eat World vibe I was talking about. Jimmy Eat World were the kings of making songs that hit hard, but at the very same time were soft. Which, how is that possible? I mean, you listen to one of their records, but let's see. They somehow managed to combine hard rock with soft rock. Very hard to describe. See, I can't even describe it. It's just like they mixed 2 things together that shouldn't be able to.
Yeah, that shouldn't go well together, but it does.
It's so weird. The song's a good example of that. Ready to Go. Ready to Go is a really good example of that. It's heavy but soft. There are harmonies, there are bridges, but at the very same time, there's an energy that makes you want to get up and move. Which, who doesn't want that? I love shit like that. If you can make me feel 2 emotions at the same time that are the exact opposite of each other, you have my attention. That's just how I feel about it. Because I like to feel things. That's another reason I love music so much. Like, what do you feel on your day-to-day without music, right?
Yeah.
It's very, very mundane.
Dull.
Just colors your life. That's what it does. It's like, where's all the color? Well, put on the Allman Brothers. We'll be fine.
If we keep going backwards, we get to my favorite song.
The South?
Yeah.
That was a good one. You know what, honestly? Man, it's so hard to pick a favorite on the album. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's catchy. It's catchy as hell. It's literally just clapping, guitar and drums. But I feel like this guy just sits around thinking of really catchy things and just writes them down all day. That's his thing. He's like, I get it, musicianship, all that good stuff, but it has to be catchy too.
Yeah.
Because if it's not catchy, you're just playing a bunch of fucking, you end up like Frank Zappa. I'm not saying that he was a bad guy, but a lot of people didn't get him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he focused way too heavy on the instruments. He wasn't a very catchy guy.
Yeah.
But I love Frank Zappa.
I do too. That's why a lot of people don't really get down with a lot of progressive rock. It's because it's not, super. A lot of it is.
Yeah.
If you give it a chance, a lot of it is.
Like if you dig through Rush, like Working Man's a really good example of that.
Yeah.
That's a catchy ass song with a catchy ass riff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rush is good. That's the point I was trying to make. Mastodon, that's a progressive band that makes some catchy music.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see, Atomic Rooster.
Yeah.
Who have been around forever. It's weird. I didn't know they had been around so long. I was like,
oh, yeah, dude.
The fucking 60s were wild.
They are credited, like 1969 and 1970 is when, like, a lot of, like, progressive rock started coming out.
Yeah.
And their album Death Walks Behind You is a lot of times credited as one of the first like progressive rock albums.
Well, I mean, even look at Blue Oyster Cult, man. A lot
Oh,
of people
yeah.
don't see them as progressive, but they are progressive
They are.
rock. They're fucking
Yeah.
progressive rock for sure. And fucking amazing.
Yep.
Another amazing band that I missed them 12 years ago. It was probably about 12 years ago now. They came to Viking Hall, not Freedom Hall. Viking Hall.
They came to Freedom Hall.
Oh, did they go to Freedom Hall?
In Johnson City. Yeah.
They went to Viking Hall.
Viking Hall is
Not that good.
not as big. So these are local places where we're from. Freedom Hall holds about, I think it's like 6,000 or 7,000. Viking Hall holds about 2.
Oh. I wouldn't have been able to fit all those rabid Blue Oyster Cult fans.
Viking Hall is where all the Christian bands come and play.
Casting Crowns.
Yeah, they played at Viking Hall.
Not even 2,000 people care, so they know they'll be able to fit that. The capacity will be fine. No fire problems. But yeah, seriously, the South. This is one that I would urge if you've made it this far, 43 minutes in.
I was going to say, we kind of went on a tangent with this one.
We have.
We got to tighten up a little bit.
We do need to tighten up, but that's okay. I'm sure people appreciate it because, you know, it's all music-based. People can get down with that, I'm sure. But the South, listen to it. That is one takeaway from this entire thing that I would like you to take with you. Go listen to that and then tell us what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
You know? Worth It. That's a track that sounds like it would have been on the radio once again. If more people knew who this guy was, he would probably be he'd probably be up there with like a Joe Jonas or something.
You mean like Nick Jonas?
Yeah, sorry. I get those kids confused. But yeah, you know, or Harry Styles even, you know.
I can see that, yeah.
And that's just because, you know, it's poppy, but it doesn't suck.
It doesn't, it's poppy, but it doesn't sound poppy.
Exactly. And let's see, I'm sorry.
You don't have anything written for it. Oh, no, you don't.
It was pretty good, though.
It's just an interlude.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good for an interlude.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the April 3rd thing. Kind of had me lost for a second because I was like, 58 seconds. What's going to happen here? And then it's just a bunch of people talking, and I'm like, oh, I get it. I'm an idiot. This is an intro.
Well, the thing about I'm Sorry, I can't remember the exact lyrics, but the ending lyrics on it, it's like something about like you're pulling away and should I be worried and I'm nervous. I thought that was a really cool way to end the interlude and then go into Worth It, which is the song that signifies the beginning of trouble in the relationship.
Which then, you know, that's another thing about trouble in the relationship, now that you're speaking about that. The South feels like the turning point.
Yeah, so Worth It, the South, and Ready to Go. That little sequence right there.
Yeah.
Worth It is talking about that's where trouble is starting to get into the relationship.
Okay, so that's where it begins.
So that's where it's saying, you know, he's trying to change for her.
Yeah.
That's, you know, the line, I grew my short hair down to my lips the way she likes it, you know, like stuff like that. And then it kind of signals their first fight because in the first verse, the girl says, you know, I need a real man, honey, make some real plans.
Ouch.
You know, stuff like that. So that signifies the beginning of, you know, they're kind of starting to fight a little bit. But in the end, he's like, it's worth it if, you know, we stick together, whatever. And then the South is him trying to fix the problems.
Oh, yeah, he's like, I know what we need to do.
Because
Let's just fucking bail.
Yeah, because he was moving to college anyway.
Oh, my God.
And the plan...
Sorry, I just kind of realized.
Yeah, so the plan was for her to go with him. So that's what that song's about. It's like, okay, we'll just go, we'll figure it out, we'll be fine, whatever.
Then she pulled that classic.
And then Ready to Go is where she decides
I'm not
she's
ready to go.
not going.
I'm not ready to go.
Yeah, because a good line in Ready to Go is, your house feels like it's home. Oh, what does it say? Oh man, your house feels like it's home. Inside your eyes, I see it all. I see the bare walls in your room, and I see the boxes in the hall. Like, everything's packed, but now she's realizing, like, I don't want this.
I cannot go to the
Yep.
south with you.
Yep. So
Can't really
that-
blame her. I don't want to fucking be. Like, honestly, whenever you're in a place like where he's from Florida.
Yeah, well, he grew up in Florida.
Oh,
but
okay.
He went to, he was in, like, the Midwest for a long
That
time.
explains this whole thing.
Yeah,
You told me.
and
that.
then he's talking about moving back to the South, like, with this girl that he's met.
He's like, have you guys heard Hawthorne Hops?
Yeah.
You guys heard Hawthorne Hops?
But to be fair, he moved to Nashville, which is a nice part of the South. So.
Oh man, I mean Tennessee. I got to be honest with you. I hate Virginia. I've lived here for I don't know how long.
Oh yeah, because you're on the Virginia side. So where we are located, we're right on the border of Bristol. They call it the Twin Cities.
Yeah, buddy.
It's one city in 2 states.
Yep.
And so the Virginia side is notoriously awful.
Yep.
And the Tennessee side is usually viewed as
Tennessee's a damn
kind of
dream.
cool. Yeah.
It's a dream place. It's like a place you can go after you've lived your life. You
And
can
see-
just go back.
And see, me and Seth, we only live about 20 minutes apart, but he's on the Virginia side and I'm on the Tennessee side.
Every time he comes over here, he sends me a message. Like, whenever he crosses the state line, he's like, I'm for some reason depressed now. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro.
Where did all these cops come from?
Yeah. Why do they look like they're profiling me?
You still got a couple songs to go over.
Oh, yeah. I just throw my laptop down.
I was going to say, you've only got, because we talked about April 3rd, we've only got 2 songs now. Everything I Need and For Now.
For now is where I'm going next. And I even put it right here in writing. It's so repetitive of me, but this would have been some newfound glory, the used Jimmy Eat World My Chemical Romance type stuff. I don't want to talk for the dude, but I feel like he was heavily influenced by those guys.
Which is funny because that's what we said at the beginning.
I know, right? It's like, hey, I fucking hit the nail on the head for once. Have you ever been right about something? Doesn't happen for me often, so
Yeah, it's a rare thing.
feels good. It's like breathing fresh air after having a tumor removed.
And
Anyway.
the last one. we went way off course with this one.
Do we need to start over? I think we should start over.
No.
We have the time.
No, we're good.
All right. Well, everything I need. All right. So this is a perfect example of how the dude can sound like the singer from Train. This song literally sounds like if Train decided to use distortion, harmonies, and were as a whole more creative instrumentally.
Fair.
That's not a bad thing either. Great song.
So, what would you rate it overall?
I've rated it. I have to go down here.
Scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate it overall?
You're probably going to be shocked by this one.
Okay.
8 out of 10.
Okay.
It's an 8 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
And that is because it takes me back.
So what, so since it's not a 10 out of 10, it means there are some things that you did not like.
Yeah.
So what did you not like about it?
You're probably going to find me a little bit crazy for this, but
Okay.
a little too overproduced for me.
Okay.
It's too clean,
I can see that.
which is,
I can see
just
that.
a personal thing. But it's still good. It's like an 8. And
Yeah,
the only reason is because, and I get it. These days, you have to overproduce your music because that's what people are used to. if they hear anything that sounds even slightly raw.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If the only criticism you have is that it sounds kind of overproduced, that's not that bad.
It's not a bad thing.
8 out of 10. All right.
Rock and roll.
Would you recommend it to
I would recommend it to people. I mean, I told the people, please, go listen to the South and comment what you think about it. Once again, if you've made it this far, thank you. But, put some stuff in the comments. Don't be afraid to suggest things to us.
Yeah, if we get enough suggestions, we'll do episodes of, like, what you guys suggest, and we'll both listen to it and talk about it.
That'd be really cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
give you something to do.
All right, so since I gave you this album, now you have to give me an album. So let me write it down. So what do you got?
Let me think.
Oh God.
Let me think for just a second.
This is why I made a list, because I knew if I was on the spot every week, I wouldn't be able to think of anything, even though there's literally thousands of albums that I would recommend to people.
It's got to be a good one. Something that, okay. What I'm going to give you is something that I describe as the perfect album.
Okay.
It is the Misfits.
All right.
Walk Among Us.
Walk Among Us.
It's like from cover to cover. You'll see.
So, once again, another band that I know of, but I'm not familiar with. So,
this is the era that matters.
Okay. I've heard people say that there are different eras of the Misfits.
Once Danzig left, as big of a piece of shit as that guy is, that band sucked.
Gotcha.
So,
okay,
you got the good stuff. You're welcome.
Well, join us next week, and we'll discuss the Misfits.
Yeah, and coming at you next, we got old Jordan here. He's going to talk about Clutch.
We'll see you later.
God bless. Stay beautiful.